can. Well, we're gonna have a discussion on gender, basically, and gender, which meaning transgender, um, male, female, or even that which says they're nothing. They're not no gender. They're nothing. They're just
Who are
here.
you today, my brother?
Who am I?
Yes, who am I?
Oh man. Well,
Speaking with wisdom.
basically, we identify as human beings and we've broken down in nationality. I would say that a Judite, the original Jew, on the planet from a biblical perspective. And I roll that way now, trying to understand or understanding all the biblical principles and the laws.
What do you think about this gender thing we was talking about? We was like really into it, and I think it's good to talk about it. This is Regina's Rabbit Hole, Siren Buddha Medicine, Talk Therapy.
Yeah.
Talking about the gender thing going on right now.
The gender thing is almost becoming like if you talk about religion, because there's a in today's technology or in today's society, there's a strive for information and power. If you got power with no information, you're done, because information is power. This is why it's so important now for people to really come up into an identity, and those ruling class so far has nothing but gave us a lot of material gain. But once we can identify who we are, or who you are as a person, without being doubtful, that pretty much helps out. Back to the ginger. There's a gender war going on with inside, and I'll speak for the melanated people on the earth, or the most identified people on the earth, because when you start putting names on people, or identified nationality of people get real emotional about it. So we'll go by the evidence, the evidence base that we see now are some of the most spectacular people on the planet that endure the most pain and the most hideous crimes against them since humanity. And so now to the point we're being wiped out by what? Ginger with inside us, men and women. Women who have to and had survived because of laws and such, and because once we did have a little bit of so-called freedom that seemed like it was given to us, but actually it wasn't. Start to lose the little bit of mind that we have. It seems now the most dangerous thing now is information, and that is due to a lot of reading. We've been reading more intensely and writing and getting more understanding. I think it's fascinating to see us reading at the rate that we are, in spite of what happened to us. But with that, we have been conditioned to really go for the juggler between male and female.
Well, I try to remember the programming when things feel personal. I like to bring it back to the roots, what we've been seeing. Television is different than what plays out in real life, As far as gender, I mean, we went from not seeing them kiss to the commercial break and people sleeping in two separate beds, right? Leave it the beaver cleaver and yeah, stuff like that, where they weren't even in the same bed and you didn't see them kiss, to people with their hands all over each other talking about sex, and tongue all down the mouth, to, you didn't know when it was coming.
Until the 60s, 70s, television first came.
And then you could see the gender too, and how women and men were supposed to behave. But you didn't really account the programming of the economics too that was coming into play with them holidays. Valentine's Day and anniversaries and stuff. You know, that there's an economic structure behind that, pumping money into all those days that are significant to showing love by way of economy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get something at that pull. And how women were defining ourselves more and more by the material things that we're able to gain. And then looking at how genders observe what they call money grubbers. I don't know. It's out there. There's garbage can, remember? We had garbage night last night. So we're looking at how now we've been programmed, right, overall as a society, as a community, to look at things defining how much you're loved. Like Christmas, your birthdays, Valentine's Day, your anniversaries. You're looking for something because all over the television, right, all over the media, systematically, because that's their programming that through commercials. So gender-wise, we're the women, right, the influence. We're looking for that. You don't love me if you don't buy me something. And the men now have a gateway to not spend any of the other time on the other influences that women need either. So we have lopsided male-female kundalini energy, because now the man can buy something or he can pay for something because it's defined by culture. It's an unspoken rule. It's an uncardinal rule, right? That he can, as long as he's defining his love by way of what he's giving financially, whatever thing it is that he can obtain, that's a sign of love. So communication and nurturing other things don't even come into play anymore in a relationship. And we have been programmed that. Specifically, I say the television. The television did that mess to us. And our economic structures are totally different. So it can leave black men or men without, not even just black men, but men without that economic structure feeling really lame without the big penis. If your penis and your malehood is defined by things, right? Right. So that's totally off. And we're not nurturing that or addressing that. We're just buying into it more. The man likes to be able to define his manhood by how much he can provide financially, when there's so many other things that need nurturing. Women are dying for the appreciation and the respect of men.
Yeah, well, how can a man, once again, it goes in, that's when the separation begins, because if a man is only part, how can you feel whole? You know, and for me as a black man, I'm not whole, even though I stand up. I stand on my head because of what I have learned over the years of intense study and isolation, which is good for me. I love my isolation, but when one come out of isolation, and he still have to go back out, it's like he's in survival mode. So no matter how much money it seems that a black man have on surface, if I did a true identifying of yourself, you will never find peace here on this earth. You might, because wherever you go, there you are. And we have not proven history that we are solid as a nation of people. We can hear all this mumbo jumbo.
There is no safe place. I mean, I've seen black men, as you guys are growing and learning and teaching, we're taught to attack each other. And that's also a sign of some kind of strength or malehood, where there's no safe place for the men to grow and learn without being attacked and having some proof of strength. If you're not, even no matter how ridiculous you sound, it's okay to, as long as you sound strong and you're saying the typical things men say. That's not cool. It doesn't leave men a place to grow.
Black men are coming together in such an alarming rate. When I see certain men out on the corners talking on a Saturday that could be doing God knows what, and at a masculine, the rate that they're doing it is so alarming that biblically it's being prophesied right now that is ringing out all throughout the earth. And to bring up someone I was just listening to for a couple of years now, gave me great teachers as I followed them, but I didn't become a part of what they were doing. I came a part of it, but and that was through documentaries and just observing and looking at the teachers and doing research myself and then applying it in my everyday life. When a girl got killed recently, because I guess she was going to spoil, what else she's going to do? One girl, you see, it's a mayhem in Israel about this and saying that it happens every day. One brother was from the camp, did it, and they were together. So, and she was 21 years old, and it's like a whole bit, but you should see the attack that comes amongst them, like inside, you don't think it's going to be murder and these big things that go on. And let's not get off topic too. We're talking about the gender war, and the gender war that I believe that was.
That's not off topic. That's perfect. That's an extreme where a man kills a woman. Why? Do you even know what happened there?
Well, it doesn't negate the fact that no woman needs to die by the hand of a woman. From
a woman doesn't need to die by a hand of a man. You mean?
Period. Right. Right.
No one should be dying, period, over no relationship.
Well, the emotions unravel, who knows, and money is a big part. And when you obtain and know information, you can't say, well, I'm going to do this right here. You cannot threat. So I think that in the relation is 50-50, on this surface. But, if a man is truly walking, in a way, he should have a whole lot more understanding to even get involved. And so, Biblically says the light shines and the darkness comprehend not. And so when the light shines, the truth, what I'm saying, that shed the light upon any situation, one starts to see a little bit better. And so in the observation of what's going on, this home or most black homes that you go in, a so-called black, I would say, you will find something going on from the top of who got money to who don't got money, down to the high to the low. To the highest you can go with this money thing that people are so mesmerized by, of the great wealth and the cars, and with something that everybody would want. No one can say that, wow, I wouldn't mind having that, but don't. Can one obtain? One can. And I'll close with this right here. When Jesus walked, when he was walking, and Satan came and tempted him, and he said, kneel before me, for I'll give you all this before your eyes. He's like, I'll give you the whole world, here you go. He was like, no, he said, get behind me, Satan. Before said, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word proceeded out of the mouth from God. It was very powerful today when you see men and women who are selling their soul for their own lusty desire, but without any proof. Like, okay, I'm shutting the Bible down. Oh, well, he was a homosexual. Oh, he didn't. Or something talking about the J wasn't there. What are you talking about? You got John, you got Job, you got all these J, but all you mess around is talking about the name. But when one's saying what can enter into the kingdom, it's all what was forbidden to do in the Bible. And let's not get on a biblical question that I can go on a tangent with. When I fall short in that area, which means it will be what we call it cognitive dissonance. Right? Mm-hmm. And so, and I was looking at that a couple of years ago with cognitive dissonance, spiritual belief, but you're not walking by, so it becomes contradictory, but yet you're acting out, psychological, and then you can use it in other terms in your life. But this was going on with black men and black women. We didn't just start this right here, and I'm going to talk about that a little later on down this segment. But we can say that it started, it spearheaded in the 1960s, especially when they put the drugs into the community, made us go into a system of education, leave our jobs, follow the lie, with Mr. MLK. And yes, he was a brilliant black brother. However, he had his own agenda. And when that happened, how the drugs came, the jails came, the separation between the black man and black woman mentally came apart from my education, everything, because what? We wanted to be like them. There
were things systematically done to the ethnic community to separate families, definitely. There was the war on drugs, where the drugs were actually pumped and targeted into certain communities.
When you say the separation...
And then there was the welfare thing.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm passionate about this.
It's okay.
When you say the separation, that's the key thing. How do you separate to the point now we're totally separated?
Gentrification also happened.
Well,
There was a series of things. We also had jobs leaving America and being outsourced overseas. So there was hits on all different kinds
but
of
we're
fronts.
talking about right now, right here in the United States, and some of the states that we don't even be. We don't.
What I'm talking about is what happened in the United States.
Right. What? Right. What I'm saying, we said some people leave the states.
No. What I'm saying is that economically, we had a lot of big companies leave the United States.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that hit us hard economically. We had the welfare thing that happened where men were not allowed to be in the house and women took, that whole thing that destroyed families.
I agree with you, but we never owned none of them big business. How we had little factory.
We didn't own them, but we worked the little factory jobs. That was something.
Yeah.
And those jobs leaving did amount to something. Also with the eugenification, okay, and the lack of
When you say eugenification, what are you talking about?
Gentrification, where they move people around from one place to another within the city. You can't get roots, and also what's going on with the educational system, okay?
Well, that was a key. You're right. When you talk about the education,
you're getting hit from all sides and not realizing
the biggest thing now for us to be conditioned is through education, because there's a way you have to act. Mm-hmm. There's a way. It's a conversation.
That's what I want to get at is the conditioning.
Well, that's what's that, right? The condition is complete far as but actually, this is what I was saying. Going back when we came off the boats, when we was broken down, when you want to go by the so-called Willie Lynch, but it's not really what it is. It's just a natural condition.
What you doing? No, I'm listening. It's still running. The tape is running.
You want to pause it?
No.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of different types of social conditioning.
Well, we're talking about things that...
What I want to get at is going back to the Bible and staying with the men and women, right? Is that, use the Bible. It says, flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone, right? So if we're supposed to be flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone, then where do men get off not realizing how to treat their own selves? That's what's off to begin with. So that's a part of the conditioning, is how we even treat our own selves. And it shows up in various different ways. It shows up in how we value ourselves. Yeah. Because if I'm flesh of your flesh and and you take to you a wife and you're supposed to treat her as you want to treat yourself, but you treating yourself like crap, back then the systematic targeting of black men when it comes to the educational system, right? I'm looking at these tapes with the Jewish men teaching their children how to do a numerous amount of things.
Yeah, but you got to understand, when you're trying to talk about other people, they're allowed to do. We're not allowed.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These are the same, wait a minute. These are the same people that are educating us or setting up these systems that are educating our young men and women, right? So if you know that if you don't have certain things, the person will fail as an individual. I'm watching them say certain things, how you have to be depicted as God, how having a bris mitzvah is important, how doing certain things regarding image.
But I think that what you're doing is you're jumping.
What I'm saying is, wait, let me finish my point, because you're not listening to my point. My point is, from a woman's perspective, how a woman takes in the culture around us, and how the predominant culture around us is Eurocentric or Jewish. And I'm watching these women and these men educate and help as far as the colleges. They're educating us and stuff. So, and they're also in the media. So we're looking at them as an eye feast, taking in their moral foundation. So yet when I dig deeper, you can see how within their community, with the way that they're being taught, is always to be that person who sees themselves as that person doing the helping rather than needing the help.
But they are
it's systematic.
Right, they are the systematic.
And that's why we're always seeing them. And they're in Hollywood changing their names and stuff.
But they program. They have been.
Yes.
They're somewhat above them and above them. But when I'm talking about the level,
let me please finish my point. If a man is supposed to cleave to his wife as he cleaves to himself, and I'm flesh of your flesh and bone of your bone, right? And we're systematically being taught not to appreciate ourselves, then how is he supposed to do that from get up?
Well, you want to hear my rebuttal on that?
Yeah, because the whole thing is a program. There's no rebuttal. It's the truth.
Because you can't take biblical and say take a look. No, the biblical truth is the whole biblical truth, like a 360 shirt. You cannot come in there. It's a circle. And what happens if you see time? It's just modern information. And the reason why, in my opinion, in the studies, is showing that. And Peter talks about in 3 Peter, I think it's 1 Peter 3, and 10, and what it talks about, and don't quote me, but I know it's in Peter, but the favor and the heat that's gonna hit the earth, and it's predicting and talking about nuclear war as it gets in profession. Why? Because it's gonna be a chemical war. Why? Because we know that these are the last time, because it's just too much information, it's too much truth out here. We got people talking about animals, and I mix with animals and this, I mix with that, going through a little Darwinism in there, because if it wasn't for the Darwinism theory, we wouldn't be talking about mixing with animals and all this other stuff, because we knew that they had to be, get that out of here. There's no way that we can be mixing animals, because we're not compatible. We're just not, they have tried it from everything, we're just not compatible, so man's been trying to figure it out, but that which is in power always will put these illusions in their mind. When one talks about what is safe, or they're just a deceiver, a little bit of time here before things really start to happen. And how can you identify that? Just go and look at the prophecies from the males who were prophets. Yes, they had females who were prophetess, but they never were out teaching, because they were just were tough inside and have powers, and really getting some understanding. But we never had a chance to really understand, because we had the oppressors who gave us our Bible, giving us the education now, even giving information, even trying to give our culture information. Of course, are the descendants of those who have done evil in the past and such. Are they going to say what? Are they going to bust out and join black people, have minds? Of course they are. But the overall picture, we have been given, like the Jews, the so-called Jews here, they've been given power from someplace else. They ain't just have it, they've been given power. But they found out different things. You see black men, this is local young boys and men don't have no money, probably very poor. Black women don't know how those particular men, and I'm talking about the one, of course you got some crooked ones, I'm just about the black men that truly honor that stay there, young boys that could be doing something else. The men that know their position, that if they get a wife, they know they must treat that wife and love their wife like how Christ loved them, and the Most High gave His only God's Son. Those men are taught. If you should be following a man like that.
Flesh of my flesh,
You should be.
But what does that mean to love your wife as Christ? Do you know what I'm saying?
It means the word. Christ. It means the commandments. You have to love. You have to love and obey the commandments, because the commandments are perfect. Which meaning the United States have the commandments.
One needs to first learn to love themselves, right?
But no. You can't love yourself until you acknowledge the law. The law teaches you how
to love yourself.
It teaches you how, but you have to acknowledge Him first, forgiving Him, and you don't know. But you every day we see. You can call all this right here. What was before? He said, although I was in ancient times. It's like, okay, let's get this together. The United States, we got to follow His law when you cross the street, when you go to the court, their courts.
Now, men and women are not able to nurture themselves, are not able to honor themselves, are not able to appreciate
the black one was the beautiful, is still
just
the
for
most.
Being themselves.
Listen, most black women, this black on my job, are black, young. She 30.
It starts with something simple.
32 years old. My man Kajina the most. I'd be like, Kajina's gonna be like, and I'm looking at her like. And she did everything, but then she had to get up. So she comes in my office. So I have to talk to her because she's my sister, right? So I said, listen, you did this. Now you trying to think, because you made all the what's called. We got the wiki reports. We got to do this and do that. And you came up with the ideal to make it easy for that. But because you didn't go get your license, and when the other girl came with her license, she's a A-Rod, whatever. She don't know shit. 15, 20 years, and she still can't get it. The way you came in, right, and you showed her. the queenship. Here's another black one. She said, I strive for perfection. A 30-year-old, right? Nose stuck up in the air. When I looked at the picture, her son looks like a mulatto. Like, I don't know. But her mindset is totally different from this one. This one is more like, you see, more like sister, but they both be striving. They both are excellent in what they do. They can run the whole program because they program they've been taught, and they just like headstrong. These young girls, but they were headstrong like that for their man, right? If you think about it, headstrong like that for their man, and not be angry because you be like, I make the money, I'm doing this, I got my son, I'm raising him. That anger, that's not love. But you tell us, the energy that you give, it's not all bad, man. The person must find the good man. The man must find the good man. But if he just out for his lusty desire, ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. So let's make a choice. What can we do and be held accountable on a daily basis? The Bible, when Christ said, he said, I die daily. The challenge is daily of repentance on a daily basis. You have to repent. You can do what you want to do. He says that thy will be done.
What I do is try to think of what would I do for my own personal development. This is Siren Buddha Medicine, speaking with wisdom, and we were listening to John Coltrane. One was I'm Old Fashioned, and the first one was Nefertiti, and this one is, I think it was A Love Supreme. It's Acknowledgement, Part 1, John Coltrane. Yep, A Love Supreme. You like John Coltrane?
It was very peaceful, relaxing music.
So this is the Blue Train.
Okay. What is your point? That's nice right there.
This is the one I have the album upstairs, but this is playing electronic. Now, I want to get at this, right?
It's not on a ginger war.
Yeah, it's about gender. I'm itching to talk about this. This is just ridiculous. I can't take it no more. All right, so we got people and characters like RuPaul. We have a transition of trends that happened, right? And we got the honing beacon thrown off. And I believe, too, this is also systematic when it comes to mating. We had, when I was little, my mom was gaga over Liberace and other women. His big sleeves and the giant freaking piano and all the girls screaming and the outfits and stuff, right? Then you had the Rat Pack. Then you had Captain freaking Kirk. Who knew? Who knew that Captain Kirk was like, yoo-hoo? No. Yeah, so nobody knew, right? So now we're watching these people and they're giving off a frequency which is being broadcasted through our eye feast, right? We're learning how to interact with each other saying, yeah, I want to be like Captain Kirk. I want to talk like Captain Kirk and meet me a green alien woman and stuff like that, right? The Knight Rider. What? Mind you, the absence of having black characters, right, in the media. So when you see somebody and you start settling for less because you just want to see something, right, anything, you're like, well, at least he's gonna be masculine, right? At least he gets all the girls, right? So that's all the guys want to see, is that he gets all the girls. Don't be patsy. That's a gender thing. I'm talking some serious stuff here. So if you're watching that and you're learning how to be like somebody who's really gay, what are they teaching us really to be like, though? For real.
So the whole thing, why would you be teaching somebody to be something that is conflictory? What I mean by that, okay,
subliminally unconscious. They're not even flying in our direction of women.
You have to first respect and understand if something is what it is what it is. But one hasn't been taught. That means that from the ages of 1 and 5, or even before the child is perceived, it's already being taught. Before the black man and black woman, and I'm going to stick there because my whole premise is for talking is about us. I can't worry about what the other people are doing because
I'm saying how that was affecting us.
What I'm saying is, before you have a child, one should be in tune with nature and understanding thyself. Most of us having babies out of purity lust. No one is sitting down before years of saying, you know what do you want to do? We don't teach our children before they even think about eating sex or anything. Understanding who's something by the age of like when it really counts. Would it be too late by the time it counts? Who taught them in school, videos, and such, right? Be what you want. You are who you are, right? So understand it. When we come into the house, I always say women rule 90% of the house for many, many different reasons. Because it doesn't take much for a man to do it. All you gotta do is work hard. Here you go, baby. She's the one. The Bible talks about the woman who guides the house. It's her house. That's why when
let's talk about that culling.
When a woman leaves the house, what happens? The house is coming up. It take a long time for the house to recuperate. But if the man leaves the house, the woman's gonna just start. She gonna make it bumpy. It might go, but it's still gonna be like the woman's gonna be, because that's her natural nature for the most part. For the most part, it takes a while for a house to recuperate. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the same. You know, we're different. When men, it doesn't work. The whole ideal for the existence is family. Without family, there's no society. Now you have a group of people who have been in slavery and bondage and not dealt with it or have not healed. There's a movie by it's called Post-Traumatic Slave Disorder. And her name is Dr. Joyce Greer, and she's powerful, you know, and she be dropping it. And she has a film where she show all ethnicity. They sit there, you know, and watch the film. And it's I think it's highly recommended for any family to watch and have an understanding, you know. And what the problem is that we have been taught by subliminal message. When we hear certain things, we just go bananas. It's like, ding, and it irritates you. You might meet somebody, and just because you meet them, you don't like the way they look, they irritate you. You ever there?
Yes.
You just don't like the way a person, and that could be a person that is designed to help you.
That's
you know?
why I wanted to talk about smells, pheromones, and looks, right? There's things that we're not taking into consideration as a people that others are. Like, according to science now, when it comes to communities, you know, there's things too, like pheromones, you know? Why women cover up in Muslim countries is so... No, but I'm just saying certain reasons why people covered up is so the women wouldn't get excited by the male hormones that were in the air, right? Because women are made different than men. Also, women have culling.
Are they promiscuous? But not by making it.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Right. It's not in regards to being promiscuous. What I'm talking about right now is simply smells and things that are invisible that are affecting each other. It's an alchemy, a chemical thing that happens even when women are in the same environment in regards to ovulation. You know, the strongest woman with the ovulation, the woman with the strongest ovulation is usually the strongest woman in the house, they say.
Right.
Okay? She sets the tone and the beat. In the same way that...
that means the younger you are, then the more you ovulate when you're younger. But when you're older, you stop ovulating at some period because you're going through menopause.
They talk about the culling. The sexual juices of the woman and the man.
But if we definitely know
that gives off pheromones and smells too.
It does, and it has been changing. So we're talking about a condition, and now just the aroma of something. Like men now put on more of feminine stuff. I like to put on like nice sweet stuff. I like I'm talking about that's not of a man. Like I'm not saying a man put not wash his hands, stuff like that. But we took on other customs, like more of more customs than before. Like the Egyptian men, like they boil their heads. That's why for us, as Hebrews, you're supposed to boil your head and things like that.
Different.
Yeah, if you look at them, they were more feminine because a lot of things was going on inside. Either they don't talk about the customs that they really do, but there's books showing actual pictures showing what they did before they were civilized. But the Hebrew, when we came through, we civilized them. We don't talk about things. Regardless of, say I wasn't saying something, just to hear those things make you strong, saying, hold up, we were the greatest people. How is something now we seem to be so low, but yet we're right there in contention. It makes no sense. Now they got us competing with a woman. How black men compete? If you're the breadwinner, you're the breadwinner. Please show, if the woman, it doesn't negate that the woman can't show us profit. The prophets in the Bible were helping the men.
You still have women trying to catch up with the biblical boundaries balance. Wait. As a woman, you can't
not
tell.
true, though.
Yes, you can't tell me as a woman what we're trying to do. Are you serious?
Well, I'm in Israel camp, though. When I say camp, I'm talking the mindset of studying
You
Israel.
have women still trying to catch up with the balance of things and adjustment with what is there biblically. That there's an imbalance with our voice and the way we want to be presented and the way men are fighting the things that men are being presented. Okay. There's an off balance.
Okay. You would, and you are right, but you're not in the world to say, well, I came in and I've seen. You haven't seen a man of an Israelite black man actually see him living the life and saying, I'm obeying these laws to the best of my ability.
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay, so what I'm saying to you, those particular women, when you hear them speak, you know, they don't talk about, oh, that's right. You see people that has been, oh, I'm not down with that no more to speak, but the women are there that's not being coherent to go in there and say,
actually, I do see, there are people that I watch that I think
there are women that are speaking that
ideal when it comes to couples that are Hebrew Israelites.
I'm not talking about there are single women that come with information, because the Bible doesn't tell you can't get on a YouTube, have your own YouTube, and be an Israelite, a woman, and live the life of a woman and present information. There's a way everything must be done in decency, or you can't be doing everything. Now,
I don't think that men have the right to dictate what it is to be a woman. I also don't feel like men are doing a very good job of dictating what it is to be a man.
Right.
In direct alignment with what's happening to women. Like I said, if I'm flesh of your flesh and bone of your bone, you want to treat me how I treat you. Well, there's equal rights, not I'm under your foot, I'm in back of you, I'm not going to promote you, I'm in competition with you. And why the woman needs to always harness herself and control herself and position herself in a way where she's not causing any kind of discord or unwanted attention. The man is not taught that he needs to control himself and honor himself and his flesh, and he's not taught. So that's off balance, and we weren't like that as an ancient people. Men weren't walking around behaving like animals and subjugation to their sexual frequency. They weren't doing that because and the women were allowed to meet women. It was a different kind of society.
We were concubines, baby.
There was a different exchange. There was a different exchange.
You went to many different things, but you're not.
There was a different exchange of male and female energy.
Right.
There was.
Just like we're having the conversation right now. And now you're domineering over 2 minutes.
No, because I let you talk when you talk to make your points too. Okay? Right. I don't think that, anyway, I'll let you make your points.
You've been on the phone for a certain time since you've been on the phone for what I'm saying to you is.
I'm not on the phone. We are being taped. We're recording each other.
I'm not arguing with you. What I'm saying is, you made a different meaning statement and you're talking. I'm saying, okay, so I'm trying to say, no, what you're saying biblically.
What is the difference between a concubine and a whore?
Okay.
So you guys want to call it something different. You have your girly bars. It's, it's the same kind of.
Everybody was trained to be.
Women have been disempowered.
What I'm saying to you, there are more women than men. Right? The women at some point in time have to understand what to do, what they have to do. Women right now are doing whatever they want to do, correct? Black women. Men are not saying you must do this, you must do that. The only one telling
Can I ask you, what does that mean?
The only ones seem to be
women are doing whatever they want to do.
Black women, the women right now, the women, the Israelite women now. When I say Israel, just all black women, Israel, period. The women can do whatever they want to do within the contents of the ruling class. If you go outside the system, a couple of things that happen. You're going to jail for one. So they're not going to chance it. So they have to go. You have to go to school or you have to work. If you're not going to school or work, you won't get anywhere. So you don't get anywhere. If you don't take your kids, they will take your kids away from you. That is the law. There's no way. You have to be careful of what you're teaching your child too, because if you teach them any type of separation, it's going to be a problem for you unless you go pursue a supportive group that's going to do that. So they must go and adhere to when you go to the job. You better dress a certain kind of way. If you go there, they're going to ask, why are you wearing a long dress or something like that? Does it make you bad if you cover yourself? You trying to say if women cover themselves up, they bad? But you be naked is good. Watch the summertime. You talking about 12? They watch it 12 to 15 years ago, who are being taken away, who are being molested. And their mother know that they're being molested or touched, and they dress them to be that way. Say, dress your body, do what you want to do.
Those are a lot of other like sub issues and stuff, that are going on within our cultures that the media leads to. I watch men go gaga over other men. They're trans. So I'm watching how it's okay for the trans men to be on fleek and to behave more girly than women. And for men, it's okay for men. Men are even looking at the trans, talking about that trans look better than the other one. This trans right here is the best one.
But what man does that though?
Men that are looking at trans.
Right.
Remember, we had RuPaul.
Right, but
we've
that's
been set up to make it seem okay. So it's okay.
Is that a whole different audience though?
It's okay. No,
is that local?
Because of the nature of it, it's like hard to believe it's not.
I'm asking you though.
It's hard to believe it's not butter. Even for the sake of curiosity. Yes. All men are looking at trends, even for the sake of curiosity.
I'm not looking at no trends.
Excuse me. Sometimes you don't even know you're looking at a trend.
That's different though. We do talk about audience that
How
only watch men.
How is it different when that is the topic right now?
Okay, so what I'm asking you, I just asked you a question. And the audience, hold up, Regina.
Wait a minute.
The audience want to know.
Those trends are looking better. What is the audience
want? The audience want to know. I'm a local man. I'm not going on watching no trans man. They do what they. People
you didn't even know. Just like I didn't know that Captain Kirk liked other Kirks.
But that's not. Well,
you don't know that Becky or Jennifer or whoever you're looking at on TV, you're going gaga over, is really a dude.
So, but we're not. We're talking about right now. We're talking about right now. You're talking about the audience that you said men now, because you made a statement.
I'm talking about the overall frequency of men and women being thrown off, and predominantly media being one of those tools.
You're not being honest.
To throw off a culture. What do you mean? Let's be honest. Yes, okay, I am being honest.
You got men like that go on and watch to see who other men are, unless they're doing an intense research. You found your research out that more men now are watching transgender.
Have you ever showed me a picture of a guy, but it was a girl?
Yes, Regina, no.
Yes, you did.
Oh.
You showed me.
Okay. I showed you video. Yes, I have.
Look at this freaking dude right here.
Okay, because I came across it. I'm not going. What I'm saying
so it's
to
like
you
you're drawn into some kind of way.
No.
Yes, you are.
All right, let me tell you what I'm drawn to.
You're looking for the balls now. Yes, you are.
No, I'm watching boxing.
Yes, you're looking for the Adam's apple. Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. Because
you're looking to see if those hands are big and second guessing yourself, aren't you?
Right. You're supposed to report.
All right, then admit it.
But when I go on
honest.
TV and I see everybody, I'm assuming that is a male and a female. I'm not saying, let me see this.
Can you tell? Can you tell now?
How can you? Technology makes you not tell. A man can go get an injection just like a woman. So how can a woman can take stuff now?
Are you nervous when you look at an image now?
For what?
Do you know if it's a boy or girl?
When you're dating, if you're dating, you better damn sure know what's going on.
Our youth are going out there and they're nervous about who they're dating.
Why would I? That's not. Why would I go out there? I'm not dating.
No, because you're married. And you think you can say and do whatever you want.
I got no ring on.
Because you don't even have a ring on.
Why? But I can defend that. It's
supposed to be fleshy.
I can defend.
I'm your wife. I can defend it because my knucklehead husband didn't buy me a freaking ring.
Wait a minute.
Defend it. Say something. Put your foot in your mouth.
No. Do I try to follow the Bible to the best of my ability?
What does that have to do with the ring you were just talking about?
It doesn't say in the Bible of any ring. That's a Eurocentric.
It says we're supposed to behave flesh of your flesh and blood of your blood.
Do you know what that means? It's a mindset.
You're supposed to treat others like you want to treat yourself.
It's a mindset.
A mindset for what?
It's a mindset between two people.
Do you know how to treat yourself well?
You would leave your mother, right? She's your flesh or your father, and then you would go on to the other one like that in a fleshly way. Because the Bible speaks about flesh. It's talking about presence, Regina.
No, Ken. It's not just talking about flesh. Like I said, men think that just because they provide financially,
men don't only provide.
They don't have to provide emotionally.
Black men don't provide,
and they don't have to be functional in other areas of life.
It's a two-way thing.
That's what we're exactly. It's a two-way thing.
What you're talking about? It's personal.
The whole thing is personal when you start fussing back and forth and talking about gender.
Well, we're talking about right now. We're going back and forth, right?
Listen,
you're trying
all I wanted to prove, okay?
You hear what you said?
And you admitted.
And you win.
I won the argument.
Okay, you won the argument. But what you said was men. But it doesn't make a difference.
All right,
are you really being
men
truthful?
are looking more girly.
But are you being truthful?
Excuse me. Yes, I am. Men are being more girly than girls. And it's being allowed. Okay?
No. How did
it's
that
being
happen?
allowed.
How did the men act more girl, like you said?
And then the women.
Are you going to be
and
realistic?
then if a woman acts. See, then if a woman acts. Wait.
I'm asking a question.
Wait, yeah, in a second.
No, you don't want to be.
Wait.
It's your nature. That's your nature.
Stop it. No.
Right.
See, it's my nature. That's the point I want to prove. When a woman is being a woman, when a woman is being a natural woman, she's told to check herself. But
what
yet,
is a natural woman?
If
You're
I
talking
wanted,
about body. You're talking about being
if I was a dude pretending to be a girl, this would be okay. Okay? My personality as a woman would be okay. If I was a dude pretending that I was a girl.
That got nuts.
But yet, because I'm a girl.
Hold on. Who gonna see a dude?
Speaking to a man, I'm supposed to be put in my place, and I'm out of line as far as my character. To me, that's retarded, and that's the point that I'm making.
When a man say that,
overall society right now, talk about the joker. The joke, man, is being able to watch a swarm of men be able to walk around and be more girly than girls, but the real women are being put in check.
So what are real women doing?
Are still supposed to freaking ask permission before they speak.
But you're ranting though. You're ranting.
Yeah, I did. I'm off the soapbox.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is you're ranting.
But I like soap. I do. I love soap. We need to clean house. We need to purge.
Purge what?
All these people around. What are the guys going to do about it?
You're talking about the guys. You really on the guys.
Are you going to let the girls be girls now? Since you can let the guys be girls?
Like,
can the girls be girls?
But you're not explaining your position. You're ranting and you have
no... I did explain my position. And the more I explain it, the more you say I'm ranting it.
You're
asking me to explain it, and
no
then you're saying I'm ranting.
Back up anything that you're saying.
It's just the music, man.
You're just ranting. And
it's
you know
just
what?
The music.
When you see
it's
people
all
like that,
jazz.
they just rant. They have no information.
I'm not ranting.
That's personal.
It's perfect information.
And when you give
These
it personal,
are real life experiences.
You're supposed to be trying to teach the people. Nobody, if people go to sleep on it, they be like, man,
have you ever seen a trans in real life?
What they'll say is, I mean, she must be angry at some like men had done her wrong, and she's angry. And then a person
I'm not
like
angry
that,
at all men. I'm just angry at stupid men.
Black men.
I'm angry at stupid black men too.
No, you are angry.
You guys don't get a pass.
Right now, you
just
are
because
angry.
You're chocolatey and delicious.
You're angry. You angry. Why
I'm not angry.
Why men be chocolatey and delicious?
I'm angry at you, black man. You particularly.
Well, won't we be angry at each other and deal with that diplomatically? Isn't it about repairing?
We're talking about gender.
Yes, and right now,
I don't want to repair anything right now.
There you go.
See, the woman is out of place. See?
She don't want to repair. And it's good evidence. It's good to hear. I don't want to do this. I said what I want to say. And you, minister, your whole basic.
You can only put so many cracks in something. And then
you
just like, I don't even want to put this together anymore.
The vibe, and one study the vibe and know about vibration to forcefully bring that right there is just not good. Not to be diplomatic, to have a real
if
rational.
Humpty Dumpty was a piece of stained glass, it would be mine.
But if it was the other way around, it'd just
blast from the past. They couldn't put them together again, so they stained them up and hung them in the window. I'm a pain. I know it. It's okay though. You should learn how to make this dough.
So we have seen the example of the emotions
because everybody needs
of a
cookies.
rambling, and this is the state of today of our black women.
You don't understand all that jazz. It's okay.
But if that white man come, and I'm gonna keep it like that right there. If he come, it'd be nice, head up, ears, and what.
If he came, he'd find a way to make what I'm saying money.
There you go.
Today,
he said he would make
right
money.
away. Indeed.
And there's our condition. This is our condition today.
The black man is not listening. This is our conditioning.
It is. Mine's too. So it's not. It's a us thing.
Like Willy Wonka and Chocolata. I can't complain. Anyway, this is Reg F. and Howard with Siren Buddha Medicine. We're talking about gender. Speaking with wisdom.
No, we did. We talked very little about gender, and when it personalized, it got personal.
If that's what you think.
Yeah, I mean, that's right there.
Nothing is personal.
Oh, most definitely. If you be personal, whenever doing this right, you cannot be personal, because somebody hits something and hurt your feelings.
Oh no, but it should be personal. It's not commercial. This is real. This is raw.
But you have to be able to endure.
We just did. It was good. Was it good for you?
Not for sure.
It was good for me too, honey. All right, so much love to you and yours. I couldn't help but think, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea. And I hope that no one of you misconstrued me. I don't got no problem with a trans if that's what you want to be. What I got a problem with is men that don't want women to be free. Much love to you and yours. We have a right to speak too and be ourselves. I'm out.